And coming up on this episode of the Marty Mariner Show, well, before I continue any further, some absolutely massive news, and that is that my eldest grandson, Lucas, turned 10 during the week. So happy birthday, mate. Double digits now. Look at you getting all old and stuff. So I know I had a great night. It was great to spend some time with you, and massive fan of the show, obviously. Look forward to having you on the show one day soon, mate. But I hope you had a great birthday, and here's to 11 next year. So last week we caught up with Greg Brownlow, the CEO of the Central Coast Mariners, who told us as much as he could at the time about what was going on at the club. Plenty of work going on behind the scenes, plenty of cogs are turning, a very fluid situation. Literally before the interview started, and we were talking into the evening, Greg had just been on the phone sorting something else out. It seems like it's a 24/7 operation there going on at the moment. And to me, look, Greg even said in the interview that the minute something happens that the club can put out that's more concrete, that's once the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, they'll put information out there for everybody. I guess there's nothing else we can do but be patient and hope that all transpires as we all want it to transpire. We don't want a Band-Aid solution. We want long-term Central Coast Mariners happening. So we've just got to, I guess, be patient. I don't know. I came out of the interview a little more confident about things than when I went into it. Not that I wasn't confident to start with, but look, he's a very passionate fella. In Greg we trust, right? We've got to hope that our bosses are doing the right thing. I'm sure they are. And that we get the outcome that we want. We get the Central Coast Mariners doing their thing for many, many years to come. I guess even after the interview, I started looking forward then to the games, the important stuff, the players on the field, both in the men's and women's games, running out there at Polytech Stadium, which is, just saying, something that might be a bit of a luxury for us because some friends down in the south of the country, down at Western United, well, currently I'm not sure if they're going to even get to see their team run out again. The A-League stripped them of their license on the 8th of August. They're appealing. I think it's later this week, Thursday. I think it is the 21st. I think at 10 o'clock is when the appeal has to be in by. Fate of the club's decided by the solicitors and all the people in suits, which, well, it's not the way it should be in football, but it's the way of the world, right? So, for me, I feel sorry for the staff and the players. I hope staff can find jobs elsewhere if that's how it ends up. Same with the players, but where do the supporters go? What about the fans? And as you know, if you've been around, home games, away games, you talk with people from other clubs. There are some iconic supporters that are around this game who are just so passionate about not just their club but the game in general. And we don't want to be losing these people. And one of these most passionate people is a guy who I'm going to chat to very shortly, Neil. You may know him on Instagram as Once Upon a Tracksuit. You'll check it all out. I'll put all these links in the description below, but make sure you give him a follow. He is one passionate fella. From Ireland, I have the feeling that I'm probably going to ask a question and then probably ask another one in about 20 minutes and he'll just go because when you know someone who's just so passionate, you just get that sense from even just writing to each other, messaging and whatever, of how passionate they are. That's the impression I get from this guy. I'm really looking forward just to listening to his stories from Ireland, the shirts that he's got, the tracksuits that he's got, the games he's been to, his thoughts on Western United, the current situation. How does he think it's going to end up? And we've got a bit of a special guest lined up too. Neve, his daughter, who was 5 when she went to her first Western United game. Was that 6 years ago now? I think something close to that. She's been there. She's been to away games and home games and all sorts of things. And yeah, looking forward to catching up with her too, because football's a family game. And we talk about our football family. And, we're going to have people like this who are going to go, well, I got no team to support. We've got to do everything possible not to let that happen, right? So, look, let's get Neil on. Looking forward to this one. I think we're going to enjoy it, and we'll catch up with everybody afterwards with a few other bits and pieces that we need to tidy up on. But let's not leave Neil and Neve waiting any longer. It's the Marty Mariner Show. And welcome back to the Marty Mariner Show, and as I said in the introduction, it's tough times down south for a lot of our friends, a lot of our fellow fans, a lot of our fellow supporters, those of the Western United club, and one of those, probably the most passionate one I've come across. We'll call him Neil, but as I said in the intro, once upon a tracksuit's his Instagram handle, and we'll talk about web pages and everything like that in a second. But mate, Neil, welcome to the Marty Mariner Show, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me, man. It's a good, as you know, I had a really good experience at Gosford maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, it's really a pleasure to speak to someone like yourself, mate. The compliment is right back at you. Very passionate supporter, mate. You're a football man. I like football, man. So let's talk.
Got to love the football people, mate. Now, tell us, as I ask everyone when they come on the show, your first football memory.
Ireland versus West Germany, 1989. A fella named Jurgen Klinsmann scored a header right in front of me.
Well, he went to Tottenham, didn't he? Good Tottenham player.
Yeah, and he managed Germany and all sorts. But I was nine years of age, and it was in the North Terrace at Lansdowne Road in Dublin.
Yeah.
So thankfully, Frank Stapleton scored an equaliser, and I didn't go home from my first game a loser. But I was so into it, mate. Football in Ireland when you were a kid. I was addicted from about the age just after Euro '88. I missed out on getting into Euro '88. I was just that little bit too young.
Yep.
And but Italian '90, mate, was huge for me. But it was a friendly before Italian '90 against West Germany. I've seen about 5 games as a kid. Yeah, in Dublin.
And were you playing yourself as well as a kid?
I was playing Gaelic football, mate. So I played for Good Counsel in Dublin. So I was playing Gaelic, but on the streets, mate. And it's different to here, mate. It was I grew up in a concrete jungle, mate, Crumlin, so inner city. You just played football on the street, mate. It was affordable. You had a ball, you could play, and you had a tracksuit top, you had a goal, Marty. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
The tracksuits, mate. I lived in those as a kid, yeah. And then when we moved to Australia, man, Crumlin. If anyone's from Ireland, you'll get it, yeah. Crumlin to Cranbourne in Australia, 2 different worlds, right? Cranbourne was way nicer, man. There was grass and stuff, mate. And,
grass and stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
It
was all concrete, mate. Where I grew up in school. I showed my wife my school one time, and we're in Dublin, and she didn't. She was like, "What?" And I'll go, "Yeah, no, that's the fucking school, mate. It's like Dolphins Barn." I went to school in Dolphins Barn. But we played football on the street till night time, and we used to use our jackets, mate, as goals, and we had a couple of fields and stuff. Yeah. But it was more. I've more played Gaelic, mate. But we loved football. The whole country went bananas in 1990. Italian '90, but it was the best time to be a kid. And that's why I started my page, Marty, 3 months ago, was to tell my tale of 2 tracksuits, mate. Because the pinned post on my page was the last tracksuit I had in Ireland leaving, and then that's the only childhood football tracksuit I had. It was a beautiful O'Neill's Irish one. It was shiny, and I dreamt one day about being able to afford the Adidas ones. I promised myself. And you go up, you buy one. So when eBay first started, mate, that's all I used to hunt. Ireland Adidas.
Yeah.
I got lucky and I got one, and then I performed a miracle and I got 2. I'm not sure if there's anyone else who has 2. And it's handy, Marty, because you'll see in the photo that I'm in with James McLean. One's a medium, so it fits an athlete well, and then one's an XL, so my 45-year-old dad rig.
We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there.
It looks all right. But I've got 2 and maybe some other special ones coming for when I do that story. So it's supposed to be about Italian '90, but I think it's time to, try and get the word out about Western United. And as a tribute to the Mariners, mate, I picked this up recently. And, there's a little story about that I'll tell you at the end, mate. So,
absolutely, too.
Yeah. And as you're aware, they're all Western United's inaugurals behind me.
Absolutely.
And the home underneath. It's part of the history. That's how we started, mate. There are inaugurals. That one, that's my baby's top, mate. That was Ashley. Her first top. That's Neve's first top. She's grown out of it. I chose that top for our family. It reminded me of the Nigeria World Cup kit. Remember in 2018? I liked it.
It does.
And it was good. And I had the green and white, mate. So season 1 was incredible. We had Scott McDonald coming. Celtic legend.
True.
The Chancellor come on, you boys in green. Man, I'd fallen out of love with the A-League. And this team popped up in my backyard. And I was like,
and away you went. And
like, yeah, I'll do that.
I was going to say, and it's funny too, because obviously, I mean, I come from England, and I remember, I think you came out when you were 11. That's about the same age I was when I came out, and yeah, throwing two tracksuit tops down to make goals. I mean, goals can appear anywhere, and yeah, wouldn't matter if it was a road, if it was a field.
Yeah.
And you know what? If cars were coming down the street, they'd stop because they wouldn't break up your game. They'd be like, "You're right, boys," and then they go past there. So that's how it all started, right?
Yeah. No, you just take your tracksuit top off and put it down, mate, and you'd play headers and volleys or catch.
Yeah,
And you'd
absolutely.
play until the sun went down, mate. And they were like, some of your best memories you'll ever have, mate.
Absolutely.
Or if Ireland won in a game, mate, you'd be that player, whoever scored, like Bernie Slavin. Everyone would be Bernie Slavin on the streets, mate. You know what I mean? Like it was that.
Who is your favourite Irish player from all time? If you had to pick one player,
it's on my page, man. Paul McGrath. Easy.
Paul McGrath.
Paul McGrath. Paul McGrath is born in Ballyfermot, same as where I was born for Crumlin. He was Ireland's second player of colour after Chris Hughton. He grew up in an orphanage. And best player of all time for Ireland. He's known as God in Ireland.
Nice.
He never trained. Alex Ferguson tried to get him retire in '87. He didn't because he had dodgy knees, and he played. He went to Aston Villa. That's why I chose Aston Villa, mate, because all my mates were supporting Liverpool and Man United. But like I was all about the Irish team, and then Villa picked up lots of Irish players. So like McGrath, Staunton, Townsend, Houghton later on, So Paul McGrath, easy, mate. Paul McGrath, easily. Best defender I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, and Chris Hughton too, another Tottenham boy as well. I reckon there's a Tottenham streak in you too, mate. I think you've got a bit of Tottenham background in there.
My Uncle Henry supported Tottenham. My Uncle Henry passed. He was a Tottenham supporter.
There you go.
As was my older brother. My parents went into football, but I always went against what everyone else wanted to support, mate. So I was a bit
as you do. Well, at least you didn't go Arsenal, mate. I'd never have talked to you if you wouldn't have been on the show if you'd have supported Arsenal, mate. That would never have happened.
A bit posh for me, mate. So
I don't like Arsenal. We don't do that.
But I don't, mate. Honest to God, mate, I haven't watched the Premier League game in years, mate. When I went back to Ireland in '98. And I managed to get 3 games in, and I managed to get Paul McGrath's testimonial in, which I was really happy about.
That'd be awesome.
And so I was back in '98 for 6 months, and then I was back in 2000 for a year. I did a few tours of duty, mate. I worked in America coaching football and coached football in Port Phillip prison, mate, in some maximum security prisons, using football as a way to teach, leadership skills and stuff with the big issue street soccer program. George Malkius, good community guy, Melbourne City, mate, nice fella. But my life's been embedded with football in one way or the other, and it's always been the boys and girls in green.
Absolutely.
And then so Western United for me and my Neve, because Neve was 5 when we started this journey, so she was 5 when she had that one. And when we go all games, mate. I've done 12 aways all over the time, a couple of women's away too, and it's been fantastic. And it's I'm not ready for it. It's too early, man. Like you hear people say stuff on online that you should fold and stuff like that, and it's like, man, like why would you want an 11-year-old kid? Well, 5, he's 11 now. You'll meet her soon. And why would you want to say that about a kid's little team? And like, I'm a football fan, man. I've been to 2 Australia Cup games in the last 2 weeks. I went to see South Melbourne versus Auckland last week.
Okay.
I was very well received at South Melbourne too. I was told they all hated us, man, but this nice board guy, man, he came and met me, Billy.
There you go.
And he said, Neil, I know what it's like to lose a club. I'd like you to come along. And I'd like to say I bought my own tickets, man. I wasn't getting them for free, mate. I paid my way in.
Yeah.
And I wore me Ireland 92 Jack Charlton jacket, so it was green and black.
Beautiful.
I was green and black in disguise. I wasn't stupid enough to wear a Western United hat, because I grew up on the streets where there are rivalries.
Absolutely.
And it was a good experience, man. Like Lakeside Stadium was all right. I got to meet a Celtic legend, which, providing whenever this Western United stuff finishes, I'll get back to the posts of what I was doing. I was actually telling my away days last year.
Okay.
4 away days last year, 2 in Ireland, Germany Division 2, and then I got to Legia Warsaw as well. So, and then the week before that, I got to Avondale versus Stirling Macedonia. A-League final, Melbourne City versus Victory. I am a football fan, mate. I wouldn't want anyone.
UK's in there, mate.
I wouldn't want anyone's club to close, mate.
No. Exactly.
And Mariners, mate. I think Mariners are very Western United-esque. Kind of pain played for you lads, so he's only said good things.
Yep.
And my experience at Gosford was great. I had a great
Yep.
time when I went to Gosford, man. Very nice place. Very nice people.
I definitely want to touch on Gosford. Can I find out too that when you first found out that Western United were forming, there was a club. Can you
Yeah.
remember that time? What was that
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, mate. It was in the paper.
Yep.
Local paper. You had heard rumours about it, that it was coming. And
Yep.
then there was a friendly game. Like, I missed out on the very first friendly, but there was a friendly game at Caroline Springs.
Yep.
And Eve and I went. And I'd never met a footballer before, mate. Like,
Yeah.
that was the little boy in the first tracksuit. His dream was to meet Paul McGrath. So that was
Yep.
his dream.
Yep.
I had to settle with James McLean, but it wasn't bad, was it? You know? But
It's
like,
not bad. Not bad.
so yeah, no, it was awesome, man. I was really excited. Come on, you boys in green. Neve was
Yep.
5. She'd
Yep.
never been to a sporting game before in her life.
Yep.
So we did that together, and along with like one of my best mates, Matty, he came, and like a few good people. Like, with a few of us, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome. And you know what? I actually wore a tracksuit, believe it or not. In
Yep.
hindsight, that first game, not the Caroline Springs one, the one in Geelong, our first
Yeah.
official home game.
Yeah.
I wore like a green Adidas pants and stuff because tracksuit culture, man, in football. And
Absolutely.
I'm also like big into my hip hop, so
Okay.
tracksuits and hip hop, it all works for me, mate.
It all
But
works.
yeah, it felt great, mate. It felt great. It was exciting,
Yeah.
and I was running a charity at the time, so I had some
Okay.
like ideas and stuff. So like it was pretty cool, man.
It was
Pretty
all
cool.
coming in,
And,
all
and
coming in together.
Look at Aaron Orbrels. This is what we offered that first season. Decent,
Yeah.
man. Decent. Like the home kids, even the home kids, lovely. It was just nice playing
Yep.
black. Like I thought we announced ourselves
Yep.
with some really good kits.
Yep.
So
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think definitely the green and black look smart. That was actually the colours I wore as a kid in England for the club that I played for was the Western,
no, yeah,
the black and green, which is fantastic. But can you? I mean, I know one of the greatest things for me is taking my kids to the game. Like just for those that that experience, right? Of your kid, they got the shirt on, you go into the game, and they're into it as much as you are and stuff. That is so special, right?
yeah, but it was more. It was more to me, mate, because of the cultural connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was come on, you boys in green. So there was
Yeah,
no girls for the first few years, yeah. So
yeah,
like I was back to hearing "Come on, you boys in green." They
yep,
do it a bit different here. A-League, the chants, they tend to be a bit like military style,
yep.
whereas Irish, they sing that in a loop. And no, please don't
Okay,
ask me to sing, Marty, mate. Not ready for that just yet. Maybe on the next few shows. But like,
absolutely.
it was just similarities. Like
Yep,
I grew up hearing the fields of Athenry being whispered in Lansdowne Road. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yep,
And one thing I really liked, was having a seat because we could
yeah,
only afford the terraces in
yep.
Dublin. My uncle Henry would only ever get us like tickets to
True,
the terraces, but
true.
it was awesome, mate. It was great. So like
Yeah,
taking Neve to it was really cool, man. And
yeah,
but like it was done backwards for Neve. Like a lot of the games we went to because we had such a small fan base,
yep,
and it'd be quiet, man. Like Skill Stadium, man. Like it wasn't that big. So but then the Taylor two tracksuits where I ended up at the FIFA Women's World Cup opener with Neve in the tracksuits I could never afford.
yep,
And we were in the Irish Active and it was
yep,
packed. And
yep.
at the end of the game, she's like, "Okay, Daddy, let's go meet the girls." And I'm like,
Yeah,
doesn't work on this level of
not
so
quite, not quite.
I think you guys will be able to understand the true joy of being a small club and
Yep,
getting to know you get to know the players and stuff. Like, you
absolutely.
get nice chats, man. Man, Connor Payne is number one in our house, mate. He's our number one player, mate. We
He's a good
love
bloke.
Connor.
He's a good bloke.
And Tony, there's always favourites. There's little favourites in our house,
Yep,
mate, and they're
absolutely.
based upon
Yeah,
a lot of the values that they bring and our interactions with them. You know what I
yep,
mean? Like
absolutely.
just beautiful interactions, mate,
Yeah,
over the years at Western United. And
yep.
like, I want more. I'm not
Yeah,
ready.
absolutely. And it builds quickly, right? Because what was it? Is it been 7 years? Is that right? 7 years of the
Yep,
club?
yep, 7 years,
It,
pal.
yeah, and
7
I
years.
think it was 22. Was it 22 when the girls came in?
Yep,
22.
a year after, I think. Three
Was it
seasons.
23? Yeah. So,
Season.
but
Please
the
make sure
cult.
I don't make. Please make sure I don't make a mistake on that. My mate Brooks is still in.
Well, we'll double. We'll do a fact check. Of course, we'll do a fact check.
Pretty sure I'm in the third season. Third season. We made the grand final in our first. You
Absolutely,
know, and
absolutely.
and we should have had it at home, Marty. We should have had it at home. We won that, and we had to go to Sydney for that grand final.
Well,
So we had
that's
to play home grand final against Sydney,
Yeah.
at Sydney Stadium, mate. Like
Yeah.
what that could have done for our women's team, mate. In
Absolutely.
having a home final at Amy would have got a bit more people involved.
100%.
Yeah, we went up. Some of us went up, and there was a silly boycott on at the time, but we
Okay.
didn't.
Yeah.
But we turned up for our girls, mate. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it was an amazing experience to go up and cheer on our girls, regardless of the result.
absolutely.
And
Oh, I mean,
I know they really appreciated it, yeah, because they
oh,
told us,
I
yeah, they
can
love it.
even relate to the grand final in Melbourne last year. Like when we were there for the grand final, I mean, the girls were just ecstatic. But I mean, and you're also talking to the third year of the Mariners. It was Mariners Newcastle played in Sydney grand final for the men's as well. It was crazy,
Yeah,
but
right.
it was
Yeah, so
happens.
I actually was a Victory member, mate, from
Yep.
season 2
Yep.
to season 5, maybe 6.
Yep.
And then I made a few life changes, mate. I quit drinking, and
Yep.
I didn't put myself in certain environments.
Yep.
And I actually started coaching. Well, not coaching, but assisting the Big Issue Street Soccer program with
Yep.
Melbourne Heart in maximum security
Okay. Yeah.
facilities. Yeah, so I liked the concept of Heart. I liked them. They've had that. It grew on me, the little.
Yep.
I'm an underdog, mate. My story is an underdog. Yeah, I wasn't used to teams winning. Like Victory were good, like winning.
Yep.
Archie Thompson. I was at that game when Archie scored 5. I spoke to him about it recently, man.
Wow,
Like,
that's awesome.
I've been to so many grand finals, mate. I am a
Yeah.
football fan, and
Absolutely.
but it didn't grab me. Victory. It was great. I was
Yeah.
young, but make some changes. And
Yeah.
then Melbourne Heart, I liked, man. But then when they
Yeah.
became Melbourne City,
Yeah.
I stuck with them for a season because of Damien Duff. Um,
Yeah.
I was too stupid, mate. I didn't realise you should go get photographs done with players because my dream was to meet an Irish player, and he was there in front of me so many times.
Yeah.
And then after the City group came in, I didn't feel it, mate. So I was never a member of City. I was a
Right.
member of Victory.
Yeah.
There's some good people at City too. George
Yeah.
Halkis is a really nice fellow, mate.
Yeah.
They do some good community work as well. I'm
Yeah.
not here. I don't. I'm not here to rag off other teams.
No,
Marty, that's not my style, mate. Like,
that's not what we're here for. Absolutely.
I think, football should unite,
Absolutely.
not divide, mate. I understand these, like, some teams don't like each other and stuff, but like our A League is small, mate.
Yeah.
Like
No, we've got to support each other with that.
yeah, it's growing too. Like our
Yeah.
numbers, man. I know all the nonsense people say about us, but what they don't know is like all the beautiful fan stories.
Absolutely.
I hang in the terraces, man. Like, I did
Yeah.
the male active last year. That was my first proper experience of being a male active member.
Yeah.
I've been part of the women's Western Core since day one, man. Like, I
Awesome.
love that. Yeah,
Love it. Yep.
and I think it's good to experience all different parts of your club at least
100%.
once. At least
100%.
once, because you make some nice relationships, and and
Yeah.
like. And some, you can't be everyone's cup of tea, mate. So my wife says
Absolutely.
to me all the time, mate, if I'm annoying anyone, But
Cop that
but you
myself.
got
Don't
to
worry about that one.
but you got to figure out where you fit, man. And
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
I've made sure to get around and get to know people. Like that's why you'll see on my page some fan stories coming because
Yeah.
I think players come and go, Marty.
They do.
The fans, mate,
They're still there.
the baby jet. You know what I mean?
Still there.
We stay forever. You
Absolutely.
know. Like,
Absolutely.
unless another club comes on, but I don't think there's any other club that can beat "Come on, you boys in green" for me or my
I,
family.
I think that fits you like a glove right now, mate. I don't think I'd be too worried
Yeah,
about that.
and the fact that the stadium was being built 15 minutes away from my gaff, that's
Absolutely.
that's Gaelic for house. But like
Absolutely. It
15
is.
minutes from my gaff, mate, there was a
That's,
stadium up the road. So my
mm,
dream was that we get an Irish player. I'd heard rumours it was Aidan McGeady at the start, but mate, I was
okay.
delighted about Scott McDonald because I refereed him
Cool.
as a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, man, to see Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good player too. Well, fingers crossed. There's years ahead for that to happen. Tell me about your trip to Gosford. You came to God's country. What was that like?
Yeah, it was great, mate. That train ride up was really cool. So, like, that beautiful train ride by the river. I went up with a few boys,
Beautiful.
and we stayed at the Gosford Hotel. So the
Yeah.
train was
Oh,
directly across the road. It was fantastic. It was smooth. It was
classy.
seamless. But what I really enjoyed was in the pub before the game, mate. Like, there was a couple of old fellas, and they said they were part of a group called the Marinators one time or
The
something.
original Marinators. The first active group.
Yeah, so they originally and they were funny, man. I liked them, and
Yep.
had some good banter, mate. This older fella, like I hope he listens to your podcast
Yep.
because he said he had his original Marinator shirt and stuff,
Yeah.
and we
I've
were
got one
just
here somewhere. somewhere.
We were just welcomed, mate. It was
Yeah,
nice, man. And like there
yeah,
was only like six of us, mate. There were six
yeah,
of us,
yeah.
and you smashed us. You smashed us, mate. That was the game where you guys were on the bottom of the ladder, and then
Mm-hmm.
you smashed us 6-0, six or something. We got hammered, and then you went on a run and you won the
Yeah,
whole thing. It was then, but it was
that was it.
I love visiting stadiums, mate. So like
Yeah,
I just thought those, to see those inflatable things at Gosford, we should have those at Tarney, except it's too windy, man. They'll need to like put concrete in the bottom
you
back.
need to time down a lot when you the
Oh, mate,
saucepans.
they'll need to be made of concrete,
Yeah,
possibly. No, until we get some trees and stuff, mate, or
wouldn't go anywhere.
buildings, mate. But yeah,
It'd be
no, I
awesome.
digged it, man. I thought it was a really nice
Yep,
stadium environment.
yep,
It's rare you walk out of somewhere getting hammered that much and still enjoying yourself so much. And the lads I was
100%.
there with had a great time. So I felt very
100%.
welcomed. And,
Well,
as I've explained to you, Marty, part of this tracksuit thing that I've got on today,
yeah,
so like my goal was to try and, get to know some active members
yep,
and this coming season, even
yep.
as well. I wouldn't wear this to a tarnate against you fellas, you
No,
ladies. But like the concept was to go and get to know some other players, other
yep,
fans like yourself,
yep,
who I've had good experiences in their towns, and
yep,
I've ticked off quite a few aways. There's a few more to come. I
yep.
did Newey last
Absolutely.
year. Newey was
Uh,
good, and we won 6-2 at Newey, so that was cool. Or 6-1. I can't remember, but
that's,
and
that's
Adelaide was
Newcastle.
Adelaide's really good, man. I highly
Yep.
recommend you guys get to Adelaide. Great
Oh,
fans,
absolutely. Shout
really
shout out
friendly
to
too.
Redwig Steve as well. Top bloke.
Mate, Redwig is a really nice. We all have photos with Redwig. We love
We
Redwig at
do.
Western United. He's,
Love him.
he is what I reckon. I based my friendly, positive approach to football
Yeah.
like engaging with other fans on is Redwig. I
Yep.
always say hello and welcome new fans to Tarneat.
Yeah.
And
Top
some they
bloke.
don't they catches them off guard, but like
Yep.
that's just who I am, mate. Hey, I'm Neil, man. Welcome to Tarneat. Hope you have a good
Love it.
experience. And anyone who's met me will say, "Oh yeah, that's that guy."
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. There's many more. Or there are trips ahead down that way because I'll be looking forward because I've never been there myself. So I'll be looking
Oh, you
forward
should come down, man. You should come
to
down,
heading down
man.
that way.
Like, look, man, it's akin to lower league football at Tarney.
Okay.
Like, as in not the quality of the football, but the size, the pitch and stuff.
Yep.
And it makes for a better vibe for us smaller teams. Like
Yeah.
I was up for the Unite round, man, when we had Perth. There was only 5,000 of us there in that
Yeah.
big stadium. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Whereas in
Yeah.
Tarney, when we play the MacArthurs, the Mariners, the
Yep.
Jets, it was great last season. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
often I laugh about how one matter must have felt going from the Sydney Derby
True.
one week to then, to Arsenal the next week, and just like, there's
True.
the bar, the road's not fit, like, yeah,
True.
no, we're still building, mate. We're still building.
True.
So like,
Absolutely. Well, and,
don't take our
uh,
club away, please. Football will
absolutely.
stay up.
And before, I
Mm.
mean, I want to get your thoughts on the current situation, but just before we get to that, can you tell us about the page, the tracksuits? What's going on there? Loving it.
Yeah, it's a tale of two tracksuits, man. So the last one I had in Ireland, and the two I dreamt about. Well, it was only supposed to be one. I dreamt about affording and wearing it to be Paul McGrath one day, but I managed to get two.
Snagged
And then
it.
I managed to share the experience with Neve, the Women's World Cup opener, Irish active, and barely got the tickets, barely all came
Yep.
together. And Neve and I wore them proudly in the Irish active, and Neve got to experience, in my opinion, the real uh,
Yep.
girls in green, boys in green, original OGs. That's no
Right.
disrespect to my team, Western United. But, we sang the Fields of Athenry. We sang all
Yeah.
those Irish songs. We sang all the come on. Like, Neve had
That'd
to
be
adjust.
awesome.
Whereas for me, I was sitting there with my daughter, the same age, Marty, as I was in that tracksuit. She was
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
exact same age, mate. She was 10, same
Wow.
age I was in that tracksuit.
That's
Except
crazy.
I had us the Adidas ones. And it was incredible. And it's the first time ever, because I follow the Matildas, of course I do.
Yep.
And first time ever, I did not want Australia to score a penalty, mate, so bad in my life. I was just
That's
like,
crazy.
and it was a dodgy penalty too, man. It wasn't.
Wow.
It was a light penalty. I
Well,
think we deserved a draw there, and so I enjoyed it so much, Marty.
yeah.
I flew to Perth a few days later.
Oh, really?
Went
Went
over,
over.
yeah, went over, mate. I had this great video of Katie McCabe going
Yep.
to score, do a corner, yeah,
Yep.
just as she hit it, man. It was pissing down rain too, yeah. Three people walked in front of me, yeah,
Oh,
and,
wow.
and blocked the video. And I was so annoyed that I deleted the video because now that I got a page, it would be like a funny story. So now I
Yeah.
can only talk about it. But yeah, I flew to Perth, mate.
Wow.
and then saw Ireland go out. I bumped into the girls at the airport.
Yep.
Got a photo with Louise Quinn, Courtney Brosnan,
Okay.
but I didn't want to bother the girls too much, and I'm spewing because I just changed out of my tracksuit too. But I had some
Right.
cool Italian 90 on.
You were
So
set up.
Louise Quinn was like, "Oh, you've got some good clubber on you," and I'm like, "Oh man, I wish I
Yeah.
hadn't had to
We
shower and got
understand.
changed." But I did that trip in 20 hours straight. I
Wow.
drove to the airport,
That's
flew, stayed awake. I was wrecked by the end, mate. And
that's sensational.
yeah, and then I was nearly going to fly up to Brisbane to see the third game against Nigeria, but I
Yep.
also had tickets to like really good tickets behind the
Yep.
goals to Australia versus Canada. So
Okay.
I had to go and do some dual nationality stuff. And myself, my wife, and Eve, we went to
Yep.
see Australia beat Canada 4-0, man. It was awesome. And then I
Yeah.
made it back and then we were on a holiday in Thailand, so I watched the rest overseas. But I made it back for the women's grand final.
Right.
And there's only I could only choose one jersey for the women's grand final, mate, and that will come when I get to that story. That's a long way away. I haven't even got to Italian 90 yet. So like the Taylor two jackets, that's where it's going.
That's
Without
what we have.
Italian 90, I'm trying to get Irish people on board, mate, and
Oh, absolutely.
I really like to do a history on the Irish players that have graced the A League. I know you
Yeah.
guys had one. So
Absolutely.
um, and that's the dream. I'd love an Irish fella to come to Western United, man, so much.
Yeah.
There's a couple of good young lads with Scottish backgrounds, mate, that I love,
Absolutely.
mate, and they're great to have them at the club, mate, because
Well, we'll make
good
sure we put
Celtic
the link.
background.
We'll make sure we put the links to. Remind me. We'll put the links in the chat too to all the websites and stuff like that. So I guess I want
My page, Marty, it's a positive fan story, mate. It's a positive
absolutely.
fan
No,
story,
I
and the
yeah,
reality is, it's a legacy journal from my girls.
absolutely.
Yeah, because like who doesn't wish they had their kits they had as a kid, or their tracksuits they had as a kid. So I'm making sure
Absolutely.
to collect them. Made sure to
Absolutely.
get all the inaugural jerseys at the end of the season. Like
Yep.
to shout out to Mace.
Yep.
Western Service Crew, who's let me borrow the long sleeve orange. It was the only
Beautiful.
one I was missing. I've got it in a short sleeve, but not the long.
Okay.
And it was
Right.
important for me to start preserving the history.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
then all of a sudden, bang, this thing came out, mate. Mate,
Yeah.
if you go back to see when I started this page, I did it as an off-season
Yeah.
hobby. I needed a
Yeah.
hobby, man. Just it's kind of getting a bit expensive, but it's a good
Yep.
hobby.
That's a
If it's
great
a
hobby.
midlife crisis, mate, it's the best one I've ever had.
Or you do
So
podcasts, mate. Don't worry about it. Midlife crisis.
yeah,
You do YouTube
yeah.
channels or something.
I think a podcast is probably going to come, mate. I think it's a good
Oh, I'm expecting it now, mate. I've got to ask you because when I was thinking about questions and things to put to you today, and I'm thinking, it's such a tough time, which I can
idea.
totally, August the 8th, I think, was the date that they stripped the A League license.
Mm,
What do you remember
mm.
of that day? Give us an idea about how that felt.
Look, man. So end of last season, mate, because all of the noise and everyone, people, the trolls on the line, mate, fold your club, all that shit, mate.
Yep.
I decided to tap out of the media. I turned the media off.
Yep.
So I didn't read anything, barely looked at our supporters page. I
Yeah.
focused on my own story for my girls, mate. I
Yep.
was like, legacy journal. I want to capture all these things now. And I put my heart into something different, something positive.
Yep.
Because, like, I didn't want to think of the concept of not having a Western United club to support. Like I
Yep.
remember messaging one of the head dudes a while ago and saying my vision for Western United as a local is easy, mate. I want to take my grandchildren to the games one day.
Yeah.
I want
Absolutely.
to be sitting there with one of my grandchildren in an inaugural jersey one
Yep.
day. That
Yep.
was the plan. That's the goal.
Yep.
So yeah, it's sad, mate. And I've just tried to focus on the best I can offer right now. So
Yes.
my page is only 3 months old, Marty. It's only
Yep.
3 months old. It's
Yep.
growing pretty fast. James McLean helped me out. Derry City gave me a share, which was pretty good. So I'm
Beautiful.
happy to have lots of Irish on there for when I
Yeah.
show my Irish gear, because my Irish gear is banging. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a sad time, mate. It's like it's the unknown. Oh well, Marty, this has happened to me before. I've lost my boys in green once,
Yeah.
but I was 11, man, and I got them again. Got them
Yeah.
again when I went back, and then I found it again with my daughter, and then
Yeah.
found the girls in green. I'd never found the girls in green. I went to my first women's game in Western United.
Yeah.
Had the women's team. That was my first experience, and
Yeah.
I was all in. And one of the most beautiful things about that game, yeah, was I brought my youngest, Ashley, who isn't into football as much yet. And as the girls ran out, she just kind of looked up and she went, "Oh, girls in green, girls play
Yeah.
football too." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Good on you, thank you, Western United." Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But my daughter, who is like was my youngest, so she was probably 5 then too.
Yep.
And then for her to recognise, oh, there's the girls in green too. Like,
Yep.
that'd be sad, man. That's sad if we lose all
Absolutely.
that stuff. That's
What's
that's legacy stuff, like,
Absolutely. What
you
what what
know.
is what is your gut feel though? I know it's the boys in the suits that's going to decide all this now, right? I
Yeah.
guess. What's your
Yeah.
gut feel?
Well, I went to the VPL on the weekend, mate. I did my first VPL experience as a
Okay.
senior for the young lads,
Nice.
and it didn't feel like we were gonna fall apart. There was
Yep.
a loyal little crew of our mates, mate, that came along, and
Yep.
it doesn't feel like it's gonna go anywhere. But mate, you can't run from the ATO. So
Yeah.
like, I'm a
Yeah.
bit up, mate. I'm 45, Marty, mate. I know,
Yeah.
shit happens. What we got. Man, in my brain, I'm planning for away days. I'm planning to come
Yep.
to Gosford. So
Looking forward to it.
my gut's saying I've got some away days coming.
Yep.
My heart's not going to allow me
Yeah.
to say it's over,
Yep.
because I've got to tell Neve, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
so the heart and gut says we're going to be okay, but it's a time to come together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One of my favorite pieces of merch we got. It has "We Are United" on it, and it
Yep.
has both actives on either side, like the women's active and the men's
Okay.
active. And I really like that concept,
I like that.
tying them
Yeah.
both together, because we're all together. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Absolutely.
Like, the boys in green and the girls in green, to me, same thing, man. Like,
Yep.
it's Western United. And now I've
Yep.
got this VPL thing I've discovered, which is fantastic. Like,
True.
goes to your younger age groups too, mate. It's really
Yep.
great. The young
Yep.
fellas give us a big round of applause at the end of the
Okay.
game.
Like
Like,
that.
that type of stuff, mate. That's you building your culture from the start.
Absolutely.
Like, if anyone's been to Tarnage, you'll see all the little like the 3 pitches. You see
Yep.
the young teams playing, man. We're just getting started, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Our history is in its
Absolutely.
infancy. You know,
Absolutely.
7 years. That's nothing, mate. Like, when I
Absolutely.
went back to Dublin last year, I took Neve to see Bohemians play at Dalymount. Bohemians versus Waterford. Man,
Gotcha.
Bohemians started in 1890.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were known as the Gypsies.
Yep.
Yeah. Because they had to travel around all different
Yep.
grounds and stuff. Man, I did it. That's what I was doing. I was doing my stories on my away days.
Yeah.
You'll see it. I'll be wearing a Guinness Bohemians jersey. And then
Love it.
the news dropped, and I'm like, right, Western United now, all my Western United stuff. Because I hadn't even done season 1 review yet. So I
Yeah.
had to
Wow.
come in, all the inaugurals, dung, 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 and then talk about the experience.
Yeah.
And I hope I can get back to that soon and talk about
Well,
my away days, and we can continue. And like, I just, you know, we're all hoping. No one wants to plan for losing this stuff, mate.
yeah.
Mm.
We feel you. And as I said, I'm sure all the we hope it, when we play each other on the field. Obviously, I hope the Mariners win every single game.
Of
There can be
course.
banter in the stands, which is great. But as I said in the intro, that being a supporter, being a fan of a club, we're supporting the game, and I've
Yeah.
got nothing but total respect for anyone who's behind their team. Whether they might not never get to a game, they might just be constantly they can't do it. They can watch in front of TV. They might travel to every away game. Everyone in between, but we got passionate fans. There's passionate people, and I don't think often it's credited to the amount that clubs can mean to people. The support
Mm.
it becomes
Mm.
part of your life, becomes part of your family's life, and
Well,
as you said, having shirts there that your kids have worn, it's
yeah.
something special.
And not only that, mate, getting Neve's one made into a beret so she can still wear it. You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely,
I got my wife one too, man. So we got that one
absolutely,
made into a beret. And
yeah,
like, it's just the concept of it not being around, because like, A-League will be over for me and Neve.
yeah,
That's the reality here. Like, I'll still go see football games
yeah,
because I'm
sure,
a football fan. Like, I'll
yeah,
do all the derbies and stuff. But
yeah,
the reality is, like, as a family, man, we
yeah,
can't, man. Who are we going to
yeah,
support? Like, I'm checking
absolutely,
out the NSL, mate. There's nice vibes, but it's
yeah,
like, how do you go back from boys in green to any other team?
yeah.
You know
It
what I
makes,
mean? I'm all in, mate. This is a game of poker. I'm all in. My family's
yeah,
all in.
no, I can
Like,
see it.
I was hoping we'd qualify for Asia, and I was going to take us on to Asia, be one of
Yeah,
those games. Like,
yeah,
no problems, man. I'll do all that stuff.
yeah,
I am the ultimate, let's go see some football type of
yeah,
person. The
yeah,
kid in the tracksuit, mate. That's I'm still in. I'm back in him. The funny
yeah,
thing about that tracksuit thing, right, is when I was 25,
yeah,
I told my wife, I said, well, she was my girlfriend at the time. I said, now just so you're aware,
Yeah.
when I'm in my 50s, I intend on getting back in tracksuits. And I told her
Yeah.
this, like, she'll confirm too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
said it early on in 3 months. But then
Yeah.
last year season's Unite round,
Yeah.
I had this wicked fluoro green Celtic shell suit.
Oh,
And I
love
was like, and they
go
were
the shell
selling,
suit.
yeah, and they were selling vintage stuff at the front. So I was like, yeah, I'll wear a full tracksuit. And,
Oh yeah.
like, it was
Yeah.
fluoro green, mate. I got matching runners for it. My
Wow.
best mate is a bit older, mate. He's a fiery up in Sydney. He's like, you're not going to wear that, are you? And I said, yes, I am, mate.
That's
And I
right.
was back to being that kid.
Oh
And mate, it's not easy to walk down the road in a fluoro green tracksuit in Sydney, mate, when you're
no.
45 years of age, mate.
Yeah.
And then that Western United did some theme rounds this season. So
Yeah.
they did like a retro round, and mate,
Yep.
like no one was beating me at that. And even I went into tops. We went in the Adidas tops,
Absolutely.
the Irish 1991s. And then there's they did a superhero round, which is great because I just been to see Kneecap and I had my
Okay.
Irish balaclava, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
cost me $60, mate. Where else can I wear this? And I asked my wife if I wore my tricolour flag and my Kneecap balaclava, is that a superhero? She's like, yep. I said,
Yep.
that's why you should marry well. They let you wear tracksuits.
I love
You
it.
can wear balaclavas, Irish balaclavas, but I'm also a huge hip hop fan. Like that's,
Absolutely.
I knew who knew Kneecap wear before.
Yeah.
They were massive. I already had tickets to
Absolutely.
the,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And,
Oh,
the balaclava worked, man. It's hot in there. And it was actually Red Wig Steve. He said to me
yep.
once, it gets a bit hot in here, Neil. And I had the
Yeah.
balaclava and I was like, right, Red
Yeah.
Wig Steve commits to this every single game to wear
Do
that
it.
thing. I can do one.
I
And it
can
was
do it.
hot. It's hot. You'll see me in the photograph. I'm standing there like that. And balaclava on there. I was
Wow.
sweating. And I stayed in it the whole 90 minutes. We lost 3-1 to Adelaide. But I sat
Inspired
there.
by the red wig.
But the best thing, yeah, inspired by Red Wig, of course, man. But the best thing about a balaclava though is you're anonymous, aren't you? At the end, you just,
Essentially.
it's like Clark Kent, mate. You go into your toilets, get your balaclava on, you walk out, mate.
Just
So
need
many
it.
places you can get around wearing a balaclava, mate, without,
Mate.
people calling the cops on you.
You had me at Shell tracksuit, mate. That's
Oh,
still.
Marty, I haven't even started, mate. No one
Yeah,
has
I was
seen
going
my
to say.
yet, mate. I have the most dopest collection of tracksuits to come, man.
I can't wait to be watching these episodes, man. They're gonna be
Mm.
fantastic. Look,
Oh,
I
next
heard a
level.
bit of a whisper that we might have a special guest that might want to join us for a little bit.
Yep, sure can, mate. I'll go get it. Yeah.
Too easy. All right. So as promised, a superstar has joined us on the Marty Mariner Show. Neve, loving and absolutely rocking that beret, mate. You're absolutely smashing it.
So as explained, mate,
That's the
this was
shirt.
the jersey. This was number one.
Yeah.
And Neve loved it so much when she grew out of it. We made sure to get her a beret made by the guys at Unwanted FC, mate. They did a great job. A
Yeah.
few pieces from them. Yeah.
Mate, I need to.
I'll be getting more, mate. They're tracksuit finishes. They're perfect.
I'll have to get some Mariners gear. I need one of those berets, mate. I won't look as good as Neve does, but I'll give it a crack.
They finish off an outfit perfect, Marty.
Yeah, as I said, wouldn't rock it as good as Neve, but I reckon I go okay with it. Neve, tell me, mate, all this stuff in the news about Western might not be around and all. What's your thoughts, mate? What's happening?
Well, I'm not really glad about it.
No.
Well, because I've been going since the first game, and
Yeah,
it makes me really sad to
absolutely.
know that it could be leaving or like just gone. And
Absolutely.
yeah, because Dad's got me into the soccer experience, and
Yeah,
I just don't know if I would be able to have that connection with the team again. I've
yeah,
made so much friends at Western United,
yeah,
and it means so much to me. I've met players,
yep,
and yeah.
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 And it's not just the actual game of football, is it? It's the people that you get to know, like you see the same faces and you catch up. It's a whole experience going to a game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like Neve's in the women's active, the Western Core, pretty
Yep,
prominent member since she was
yep,
at the start. And
yep.
we love going to see our girls in green, mate. It means the world to
Absolutely,
us, to go
absolutely,
there and cheer on our girls together. So like
absolutely,
we don't miss games, mate. We go,
absolutely.
the amount of times I had to drive to Ballarat, mate. Like it's
Yeah,
on my page. I documented how many hours and Ks I covered,
I was going to say a
like,
bit.
and then we finally get a stadium 15 minutes away, mate. Oh, no, we're not ready to leave yet.
No, well,
No,
our,
but
our, our fingers all be crossed.
it's been a wonderful experience for a father and a daughter with
Yeah.
Irish background. Neve is really connected to her Irish culture.
Oh,
So
nice.
so the concept of another team,
Yeah.
like I've explained, Marty,
Yeah.
who's going to compete?
Absolutely.
For the Corcorans. There's no one Irish, mate.
Absolutely. Have you been over to Ireland, Neve, or is that on the bucket list for you?
No, yeah. Last year we went to Europe
Okay.
for a month, and we went to Ireland there,
Beautiful.
and it was amazing. We went
Yeah.
to soccer games, and it was
Wow.
great.
There's the part, Marty. If you're going to take your children out of school for a month, you have to get the correct education.
It's
So she got
absolutely.
4 games. She got 4 games in, mate.
Yep.
And thanks. I hadn't thought about this page yet, so I documented it on me personal. But like, we did 4 games, mate. We went to Daily Mount, Dublin's oldest club. We went to
Yep.
Turner's Cross and Cork. That's how I ended up like getting that Derry City jersey. But mate, all my posts have a story of how I got these things, man.
Yep.
Things happened to me.
That's awesome.
And then we went to Germany Division 2. And
Yep.
then we went to Legia Warsaw, mate. Proper education.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have done that trip. I'm totally jealous of you guys now. Not only what you're wearing on your head, but also the trips that you guys have done too. But look, it's been.
We wore our We Are United shirts to every game.
Oh, you wore them there?
Yeah.
Oh, how good's that?
That was part of the thing, mate.
Love
It's coming to the story, yeah. But we wore We Are United on our chests, mate.
Yep.
I've got photographs of us at most games, except it was a bit cold in Cork. But like,
Okay.
yeah, we wore those We Are United, Western United t-shirts, mate, everywhere
That's
we went.
awesome. That
Yeah,
is
it was
awesome.
cool. Yeah. Nice
That is
experience.
awesome. And my final question, because we talked about different, like a couple of tracksuits that you've got and stuff. Is there a shirt or a tracksuit that you don't have that you would really love to get?
Me or me?
Oh, either, both.
Uh-huh.
There's always a shirt, mate.
I know there's always a shirt.
But it's everyone collects shirts, mate. Yeah,
Yep.
they do. Right.
Ask my missus, mate. Half my cupboard's full of them. It's crazy.
Tracksuits are harder, mate. Tracksuits are harder, especially the older ones.
Yep.
So my oldest tracksuit is 1970.
Okay.
Not a football one, but it was like it's cool, man. I'm gonna wear it to Essendon Royals this weekend to cheer on our favourite player of last year was Alana Cern. So we'll be cheering on Cerny, who's
Beautiful.
over in Vietnam at the moment,
Okay.
and the young Matildas. So
Yep.
like we're going to go see Essendon Royals on Saturday night. Another one to tick off.
Love it.
But jerseys wise, there's always a few hunt. I've got all my Italian 90 stuff bar one, but it's impossible to find that one. So I've got something to tell the tale of that one. But Neve's lucky enough to get bought many jerseys, mate.
Yep.
Because that's what I do, mate. I buy if I see Irish ones that even are Neve size, not mine, that's stuff I always wanted. You know, that's why you have children, Marty. Dress them up in your kids, mate.
Absolutely. My kids had no chance. They were just in Tottenham gear before they knew it when I was coming out here, and now they're in Mariners gear too. So it's fantastic to see.
It's grooming, mate. It's grooming.
It's doing it the right way, I reckon. Parenting 101.
The main jersey that I wanted from West United, it's one that I've only seen recently. It's the pink one. That wasn't really out. I just think that one's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a line of some. It was a League Cup jersey in between season 1 and season 2 as a pink keeper. So, I put photographs of it up again on loan from a mate. So very nice of him. Yeah,
absolutely. As I said, I mean, the colours I played in as a kid were the green and the black, so I've always had a bit of a soft spot for that with the stripes and all that. But no, it's and now you talked about earlier about the Nigerian kit and the similarity there too. I mean, the more I look at it,
it is, mate. If you look at the Nigerian 2018, there were similarities. It was like broken glass and stuff.
Absolutely.
I thought, you can look behind us. You can see the first jerseys represented really nicely. That orange goalkeeper, mate. That was a third kit. That was an alternate one.
Yeah.
So I got lucky and scored a short sleeve of that recently. But it's
nice.
Everyone wants it urinal kits, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I even messaged some of the dudes at Auckland and said, "No, buy your original stuff. Buy every single one. In 10 years' time, you'll wish you bought every single kit of season
100%.
1." You know what I mean? So
yeah, nice. And as I said, it tells a story, but it also, you can look at the shirt and it gives you memories of games, memories of times when you were there. I remember that happening, and remember that was the day with this, and it's just I guess it's just, you don't want to let that go.
Well, we've been to both grand finals, mate. We were there for the 2-0 Amy win against Melbourne City, mate. That was awesome. And the Valentine victory semi-final was probably my best ever game. Was that second leg would be victory 4-1, mate. Connor Payne gave Neve his jersey, man. Payne, the legend. And it was just an amazing month, mate. Like in my brain, we'd already won the grand final in the semis. I was so happy. And then we won in the final, mate. And you know, we made plans really quickly to go to the fan day next day, and it was just incredible. Those moments will never be replicated for the original fans. Those
100%.
moments of, you know, literally walking around with the players at Graysland and having chats and meeting their families and stuff. Like, you only get that at small clubs, mate. You know, you really do. And I reckon I felt that vibe at Mariners. I felt it at Newey too, man. It was a good, you know, us small clubs, we need to stick together, man. You know, like, why can't we all be friends, Marty? Why can't we all be friends, mate?
Sounds like a good plan for me, my friend. Look, honestly, it's been. I could listen to you for hours, and I'm sure once you get things, I'm going to be watching it for hours. It's been sensational.
I tell you, I can talk for hours. So I can probably know for the people at Western United who, you know, I've bailed up at some stage for a chat because I'm a talker.
Do it.
But, yeah. But Neve and I would like to express our, you know, support for our women's active, our Western core. We're such a big part of the Western core. It's a big part of our life. We don't want it to end.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Brooke, mate. Brooke is a guest on my channel or page, whatever you call it. Brooke is probably the heart and soul of our club, Marty, like I've explained to you, Brooke Muscat. And she's one of the co-founders of the Western core.
Okay.
And,
Legend.
you know, Brooke and I got together this past week, made all those videos, and it gave us both a bit of a boost. You know, like I've been trying not to read the negative stuff. I'm trying not to read that stuff. I'm trying to focus on celebrating some really fantastic players and a bit of celebrating our history. And not the end of it, you know, the start of it.
Absolutely.
You know, so
and more to come.
I love hearing fan stories, Marty.
Oh, me too, mate. It's there's nothing better than me just sitting back and I just press record and say, okay, talk about it, and it's just bang, just go for it. I could do it forever, but it's easy for me. I just love to listen like everybody else. But hopefully, my plans are for you to be coming up to, well, both of you to be coming up to Gosford, and you know it'll be my shout for a beer and a lemonade for you, Neve. Sorry, we got to do the right thing there, but. Can't wait to see you both at Gosford.
Non-alcoholic for me, mate. Don't do that stuff. But yeah, something.
I'll have it for you then. It's fine.
Yeah, mate.
We got you covered.
Thanks so much for having us on, Marty, mate. I hope this.
No problem.
I hope I pick up some more of your fans, mate. Following my page. If anyone wants to follow a positive fan story,
absolutely.
Like Celine Dion said, our hearts will go on. I'm just hoping that they're green hearts, mate, and we get to keep on supporting our club, our boys, our girls, our mates, our fans. You know, and just do anything we can, mate. So thank you for sharing our little story, our father and daughter tale. And for the people who are saying we should fold, man, like, come on, this is us. This is our journey. We don't want that stuff to happen, mate. Like I said, can't be having that.
We can't be having it.
No, Football Australia, mate. Come on.
We'll get it sorted. Well, anyway, I send you all the positive thoughts I possibly can. Look forward to catching up with you guys again soon, because once the season starts and you guys are there, we're going to have another chat, right?
Yeah, man. I'll have to show you Tarneet, mate.
I will look forward to it as well. All right, guys.
You come and hang with my friends, Marty.
It's a great little stadium.
Yeah. I'll be there, and I want to wear the beret as well.
Okay, we can do that. Bye, mate. I'll have a tracksuit top for you, mate. There's not many people who gets to wear my Ireland 1990 Adidas's. Neve, James McLean, maybe yourself, mate. Maybe yourself. If you have any Irish heritage, mate, we'll have a chat.
Stepping up onto the plate there. All right, guys. You take care, and we'll catch up with you soon.
No worries, mate.
Bye.
See ya.
And a massive thank you to Neil and to Neve for jumping on. I had the feeling before we even started that, man, what a passionate supporter of the game. What a family bloke. Great memories. Doesn't want him to stop. Not just about Western United, but about the game in general. But they're just getting started. And as I said, I'm not talking about the people who go to take over the club or invest in the club or all the political sort of stuff that goes with it. I'm talking about the grassroots people who go to the games and or watch games on TV. They're passionate about their club. And, well, as you could see, Neil is one passionate fella. Love every fibre of his body. The shirt collection, the tracksuits. I mean, you've got to follow him. Once Upon a Tracksuit on Instagram. I'll put all the links down below. Make sure you give him a follow. And it's just, you got to keep your fingers crossed for people like that they get their team to support. Look, thanks so much for sticking out all the way through to the end of the video. Don't forget to, if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure you give us a nice thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. Free to do so. We're almost at 320 now. It's been jumping up quite rapidly. So thanks so much for everyone who's been subscribing. Make sure you whack a comment in there too if you like the shirts that you saw. What do you think about the whole Western United situation? Make sure you put a comment in the YouTube little chat box under there. Don't forget, we're also in podcast form now. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Make sure you follow and tick and give 5 hearts to and all that sort of stuff that you do with podcasts. You probably know better than me. We've really been gaining some traction in the podcast, as I've said before. People going for walks and turning us on in the car and all this sort of stuff. It's been fantastic. Love hearing those stories from you. Hope you enjoyed this one. You could probably drive a fair way with the show we put together tonight. And don't forget, we're also going to be on the Facebook page. So if you started off on the Marty Mariner Facebook page, put a comment below. What's your thoughts? By the time this comes out, there'll only be about a day or so before the appeal is finished. Yeah, I agree with Neil. The whole thing about fold your club and all this, what's that got to do with the grassroots supporters? You know, they're just season ticket holders. They're people who put their hard-earned through the gates. They bought the merch, and then all of a sudden their team's disappeared. And, you know, there's rivalries. I get it. But I'll be honest, I would never want the Newcastle Jets to go anywhere. We need a Newcastle Jets. We need a Central Coast Mariners. Melbourne Victory need Melbourne City. You know, Adelaide need Melbourne Victory. We need Wellington and Perth to do the long-distance derbies. Is that still the long-distance derby with Auckland? Don't know my New Zealand geography too well, but we need this. We need clubs. We need rivalries. You can't all be the strongest team in the competition. We don't want you all to be the weakest team, but we've got to have you all around as supporters for the game. Let's banter each other about results. Let's talk about the stuff on the field. We can do that and debate those points day in, day out. But you know what? As fans of supporters of the game, we need teams to be out there and being promoted and doing what they're doing. So my fingers are crossed for Western United to stay in the competition for Neil's sake, for Neve's sake, and for all of the Western fans down there in Melbourne. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Look forward to bringing you another one very, very soon. And look forward to catching you at the games. It can't be too far away. The start of the season, we're getting closer, not that far away at all. Look forward to seeing you all then too. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's the Marty Mariner Show.